Hello, everyone. My name is Holland Hubert, and today I will be presenting my Honors Program Senior Portfolio. To give some brief background information, this portfolio will go over 5 different artifacts that I feel like I have accumulated throughout my Spelman career that help to engage in meaningful behavior outside of the classroom. And so I think entering the Honors Program, I definitely came in with a different perspective than what I'm ending with. When I came in, I did not think that habits of mine and these artifacts that I have accumulated would end up leading to such great accomplishments by the end of my senior career. And as I go through this portfolio and my artifacts, you're kind of going to see a timeline that kind of builds. And so, how I start from my first artifact and end at my last one of the ones that I think I'm the most proudest of. And so, seeing my transition throughout my honors program, starting from my freshman year to my senior year, you'll be able to see how those artifacts have helped to shape and make me the person that I am. And so, to start with a little bit about me, as I stated, my name is Holland Hubert. I was raised in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and have majored in biology throughout my Spelman career. As a fun fact, I swam competitively for 8 years of my life before I started college. I stopped in college because once I found out how to do my hair, those swim caps stopped working. And then I aspired to become a family medicine physician or pediatrician. And so, one of the themes that I'm going to explore throughout my presentation is the theme of rooted in purpose, rising through passion. And so, to start with my artifacts, I'm going to give a brief introduction. And then, throughout the remainder of this presentation, I'm going to go in depth with each of these artifacts, what they meant to me, and my connection back to the theme. My first artifact was my first internship that I ever had at Spelman College. It took place at the University of Pittsburgh, and I was a part of the Pittsburgh Undergraduate Research and Diversity Program, also called PERDIP. My second artifact was the second author publication that I gained through that internship, titled, and it is a long title, Insulin-like growth factor 1 presents hypoxia reoxygenation-induced white matter injury in sickle cell mice. That is a handful, which I will explain later in the presentation. My third artifact was my second internship, which was taken during my transition into my junior year from my sophomore year, where I engaged in the Neuroscience Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. My fourth artifact is SKIRTS, Sisters Keeping It Real Through Service, a community service-based organization at Spelman campus, where I served as an intern for 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, and then on the e-board for my junior and senior year. And then finally, my last artifact was my acceptance and participation in the BSMS, Master's in Neuroscience program at Morehouse School of Medicine during my junior year. Yes, you heard that right, my junior year. Now, my first artifact that I'm going to talk about is skirts. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but my eyes kind of lit up a little bit when I talk about skirts. So in 2021, I was introduced to Skirts, which is a community service-based organization at Spelman RSO. From 2021 to 2022, I served as a community service committee as an intern, and then I currently am one of the co-chairs for the community service committee. To give some background as to why Skirts is so heavy on my heart and why it means so much to me is that I've always been raised on a giving and caring mentality. When I was a baby in my mother's stomach, she was working in a homeless shelter, giving back to the community. So I always told her that from a child, or when I was still in your stomach, I always had a giving mentality because my mother was giving back. And then growing up, my father would carry cups, maybe from McDonald's or Wendy's, and would fill those cups up with coins. Every time those coins got full in that cup, he would give it out to unhoused individuals that he saw. And so seeing this from my mother, kind of figuratively, and then from my father, literally, I believe instilled a caring mentality in me. And then throughout my high school and elementary school years, I was always involved in the community. In elementary school, I was in Girl Scouts. And in high school, I engaged in various different community service opportunities. And so through Skirts, I was able to gain hands on experience by supporting individuals in the Atlanta and surrounding communities. I grew as a leader. I discovered that community service takes many different forms. Oftentimes, we may think about feeding maybe the unhoused or donating clothes, but community service is so much more than that. And through my participation in Skirts and finding different community service, I've been able to see that. And then it also deepened my commitment to give back. And so, one of the connections back to the theme is that through Skirts, I've been able to continue giving back in a college space while reminding me of the values I was raised on. It grounded me in my purpose and showed me that passion for service, when nurtured through leadership and community, can lead to a lasting impact. These are a few images of my involvement in Skirts, from various bonding activities to different community service opportunities. Next is the PERDIP program. The PERDIP program stands for Pittsburgh Undergraduate Research Diversity Program. Here, I gain confidence in my place within scientific spaces, especially as a Black woman, seeing that I do belong in research. I hope to strengthen my communication skills by presenting complex research to diverse audiences. And then I was able to connect that research to medicine, specifically here by studying sickle cell, a condition that heavily impacts Black communities. My connection to the theme is that this experience rooted me in my purpose of addressing health disparities and then fueled my passion for using science as a tool for change. My third artifact is my first publication. And so this publication allowed me to gain a deeper understanding of how research can directly address health disparities. I was able to contribute to that meaningful research that ended up bridging neuroscience and public health. And then being published also gave me the confidence to see myself as a scholar with a voice in the scientific community. And mind you, this publication came out during my sophomore year. So, freshman year, rising into my sophomore year, I engaged in this internship. And then my sophomore year ended up with the publication. So, at the time, I didn't fully understand the significance of being published, but having mentors who believed in me put me in the room for opportunities I never imagined. This publication became more than just a line on a resume. It affirmed that I'm rooted in purpose and, once again, rising through that passion. Next, I have the Neuro program, the Neuroscience Undergraduate Research Opportunity. Through this opportunity, I was able to engage in research exploring lipocalin's 2 role in post-sepsis syndrome, contributing to long-term recovery efforts. I performed perfusions and organ extracts on mice. And then I was able to once again present my complex research findings at university conferences. And then as a young Black woman in neuroscience, I understand the power of representation. Everything I've done, from the careful hands-on work in labs to confidently presenting my findings, has been grounded in a strong sense of purpose. I would not be here unless I was meant to be here. I didn't just pursue science to gain experience. I did it because I am passionate about discovery, healing, and helping others. And then finally, my last artifact is Morehouse School of Medicine. So in 2023, I submitted my application for the BS/MS program for Morehouse School of Medicine. That same year, I joined a committee of 7 people taking grad level classes as a junior. And you heard that right, a junior in college. And mind you, during this time, I was taking orgo, I was taking physics, I was taking biochem, all while taking a grad level class at the same time. And then in 2024, I formally passed my qualifying exams and was officially accepted as a master's student. And mind you, this is a fully funded program at that. Through this program, I was able to gain hands-on neuroscience research experience with the help or under the mentorship of Dr. Shepard. I performed advanced cell culture and microscopy. I took grad level neuroscience classes as a junior and senior currently now. I was able to strengthen my passion for medicine, and I had a deeper desire to understand, heal, and advocate through science. My connection to the theme is that what started as curiosity actually turned into clarity. Researching the brain taught me that medicine is where my passion lives, and through every challenge, and there were many, I was reminded that I am walking in my purpose. These are a couple images that show my time at Morehouse School of Medicine, and there are, of course, many more to come. I was able to go to Harvard Medical School where I met with different MD and MD PhD students. I was able to see a real brain. I was able to, of course, study, which was all day, every day. And I also presented my research at Abercams. And then I just want to end with a quick testimony. So, as I enter my last days as a Spelmanite and begin my transition to a Spelman woman, I reflect on my time at Spelman College. The Ethel Waddell Get the Honors program has been more than just an academic space. It's been a community that nurtured my intellectual curiosity, challenged me to lead with purpose, and helped me discover how my passion for science, service, and advocacy connects to the legacy of Black women before me. From conducting neuroscience research to serving my community through skirts, the program gave me the space to not only pursue my goals, but to see them as part of something greater. I leave this program more confident in my voice, rooted in tradition, and empowered to rise as both a scholar and a leader. Thank you so much.